Hi ladies, it's me again. I am back to show you a process of my scrapbooking called Family Time. Here I am with the Tim Holtz antique linen paper. I'm showing you what website I used, and I'm actually using a 6x6 template, mini chicken wire reversed with the vintage photo, and I'm adhering down my first piece of paper. It is Vagabond paper collection by Basic Ray, the ribbon stripe. I'm actually showing you now that I use the Knockouts paper punch by American Crafts to punch the edges. This is the collection 2, and I use the wave one, and I use the uh, scallop one. These two, the first layer was scallop, the second two, this black one piece of paper, which is a midnight paper. The one on the bottom of that is herringbone. But those were used with the punch of the wave punch. And I'm showing you again the wave punch. And all the papers are inked again with vintage photo. Now that green sheet of paper is the green bean paper by Basic Ray Vagabond. And I'm using Monotombo adhesive to glue everything down. That swirl that you see is actually Simple Stories documented stickers. And the foam squares that I use are scrapbook adhesive 3D foam squares. They're really, really nice. They don't give too much dimension, just a little bit of lift. And those are my sons in that photo. It was Sunday night dinner at my house. Now I'm taking off all the little tabs on the back of foam squares. It's quite tedious. So I'm sorry that you have to watch this part, but it's necessary in order to make the photo stick. Yeah, more stickers, more adhesive strips. But I just loved this layout. It was a really nice layout, like I said, of my sons. They came home for dinner. There I'm showing you the sticker collection that I used. And I'm sorry that I'm not always in frame on this. This is my first time doing something like this, so I promise to get better at it if you just bear with me. Now those are the Prima Marketing Kennedy flowers in blue, and I actually used my last 2 of them on this layout. Love these flowers. They're a nice size for a 12 by 12 layout of this type. And I'm actually now using my journaling spot from Creative Imaginations Narratives, and again I'm inking it up with the vintage photo, just laying it down on my paper, and using a pair of scissors to cut off some flowers that and those are the Canterbury Collection Berry Picks in Brown by Petaloo. They're a really nice collection, and I'm just showing you the Luminart paint pods that I've used in cinnamon brown and blue ice, and I use those to ink up or to paint up a couple of Wild Orchid Crafts flowers, and they are style number R21-1. And there I am showing you the process. I just saturate with water the cinnamon brown, let it dry for a little bit, and then I go back and I use a stronger pigment of that same cinnamon brown to add a dimension to the flower. And then there's the ice blue. I'm showing you that on that flower by Prima, the Tuscany flower, I inked or I painted all the edges. So there's more of those foam squares, and I used 3-in-1 beacon glue to glue the edges on the photo. That is just a little pick from the Berry Picks of Canterbury Collection Petaloo that I just added interest to the flower. The buttons that I use are Craftsman buttons by Prima, the Craftsman collection, and I actually used 3 of them on this layout. And there you can see the flowers that I've already previously painted, and they are dried. And I will glue those down. Oh, there I'm showing you the cinnamon brown ink or paint that was used to paint the flower, and I'm showing you how I go back in once that flower is dry, and I use a darker tone of that color to paint around the edges to give it some definition. And I probably shouldn't have started painting over the project for fear that I would ruin the project because I got paint on it. And I'm off camera doing this, and I apologize. I thought I was showing you my technique for coloring in my flowers. I guess I will have to make sure in my next video that I show you that process. But you can see little bits and pieces of this flower. It actually turns out really nice. It just accentuates the petals a little bit, defines the petals a little bit more, gives them more definition. So I will again be doing this flower technique on my future layouts as well. And it is a little bit of a tedious process. It does tend, if you get the flower too wet, the flower has a tendency to fall apart on you a little bit and spread out. But there's my whole layout. The top flower again is that blue Kennedy flower. The button is from the Craftsman, and that sticker that you see on top of the button at the very top of the page is from the Documented Simple Stories collection. There's my Beacon 3-in-1 glue that I glue down all my flowers with. I really love that glue. It's fast drying, strong adhesive. Works really well. It's just a little goopy, and sometimes it's very hard to get out because it has a tendency to clog, but I got it going now, so all is good. Taking off the adhesive back so I can stick the flower down onto the photo, and I'm almost done with this layout. I just have to add in those other two flowers and glue down that button that you see on the journaling spot. And there I am gluing down a button from the Craftsman collection of Prima. And I'm cutting off the stems of the flower using my cutter bee scissors. And then I twist the ends just so I can make sure that the flowers are in the right spot. And I will again glue the stems or the tips of those flowers with the Beacon 3-in-1 glue. I just glob it all on and stick it down. I'm messing with the flower a little bit because it did start, I got the flower too wet, so it was starting to, the petals were starting to fall apart a little bit and spread out on me. I wanted it to be a more closed flower, and I'm putting the 3-in-1 adhesive on the back of that flower so it stays put and doesn't move around. And then there I am doing it to the brown flower. The brown flower, the tip is almost dry, so I just had to lift that flower up. And now I'm messing with the petals again because they are, they're not the way I wanted them to be. So just fiddling with that flower, getting it right. And not sure what I'm doing off screen again. Oh, I'm probably looking at another sticker collection. What I'm doing now is I'm getting my title, which is Family Time. And the word family was done in thickers with the burlap style. And then the time was Storytellers, Webster's Pages, the holiday in green stickers. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting on the, you can't see it because I didn't realize I was off camera at this point. But that's what I'm doing. I'm adding the title to it. Then all I have left again is to glue that button and glue up a couple of flowers at the very top by the title and put in my journaling. And then I will here shortly be showing you a picture or videotaping the finished product so you can see it really quick. There I had to take the letters of the title and actually add adhesive to it, the Beacon 3-in-1, because the letters weren't staying. They weren't sticky enough. So but that's about it. Okay, as I promised, here is the final layout. I haven't done much more to it. I've outlined the word time in black pen. I didn't do my journaling yet, but I will. I added this sticker from Graphic 45. These are the Prima Craftsman buttons, and I think I've explained all the flowers. But this is my final layout. I hope you've enjoyed this series of how I put my layout together, and I will be doing more. In fact, my next layout will be using this picture of my dog Blue and of Chris. So stay tuned. Thank you.